Hello?
Hi, Patricia. It's John calling from Hubbli.
Oh, hi, Jonah.
Hey, how are you today?
Good, good, good.
Good. So listen, is now a good time? Can I chat with you for a few minutes?
Sure. You just caught me at the right time. I was just walking in
Oh,
from
perfect.
downtown, but I'm
That's
just getting in. That's
okay. That's
good.
awesome.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Okay, good. So, I was wondering if I could. What I'm trying to do is
Uh-huh.
do a little bit of customer research and make sure that what we're doing with the enrollment marketing piece is hitting the mark. So
Uh-huh.
I have some questions. They're very standard questions that I'm asking our enrollment marketing customers, and I'm wondering if I can go through those with you. They're pretty basic, but
Sure.
getting your getting your feedback can be really helpful. The other thing I was just wondering if I can record this, and if you don't mind me recording this.
No, that's okay.
Okay, great. Um, so specifically to the enrollment marketing service that we're doing, where we're doing the ads and in the enrollment management process, what was what would you say was the biggest obstacle in your way that would have prevented you from going with our service?
Mm, like what would have if I wouldn't have chosen you, what would
Yeah,
have been
the main reason why.
mm, the main reason why if I had the know-how to do what you do.
Oh, okay. So you were wondering like if you would have been able to do this yourself.
Yes, so if I had the know-how and I had the time, I would have done it myself. But I find that um, with the time, I don't have time to do it. Even now, actually, yesterday, Terence was just saying to me, Patricia, are you even having time to look at the clients as they are coming in and touching base with them over the phone? Because really, if you're not doing that, then all the work that Jonas guys are doing goes to waste because the clients will show interest, and then if you don't connect with them, then you don't make that sale. So time factor is the time.
So I'm just trying to rephrase it. So the obstacle would have been that you were wondering if this was something like you might have been asking yourself like can't I just do this myself?
Yes, so if I had all the time during our day-to-day administrative duties, and if I had the time to do all this, then yeah, I would say sure. Let's do
Mhm.
this. I can do this without doing the service. But you find that as administrators, our day-to-day, we don't have we don't have the time. Like now, it's 3:45 p.m. on our end,
Mhm.
especially if you're an administrator who also works on the floor. If you have a class, if I've just finished a class, went for a meeting, and it's 3:45 p.m. and I'm starting to sit in front of a computer,
Okay.
and I have like 1.5 hours left to go home.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
really, yeah, it's time.
Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
what have you found um uh that you've noticed the most as a result of going with this service?
I've noticed, I never knew that, in town there would be people who would like get interested in, just knowing who we are and what we do. But it's, even though I don't get, messages to say I want to book a tour, but just that message that comes on the Facebook page to say so and so viewed your video and they had a reaction to it, that kind of motivates me each day to say, hey, each and every day there's a new person who's actually, who's actually took that time to view that video and get to just even read the name of our school. Whereas before, nope, we wouldn't have that. Yeah, but it's
oh, okay.
amazing that because the way, I don't know, the way you guys set it up, I get on my Facebook page, every person who looks at it or who views or kind of makes a reaction to it,
Mm-hmm.
it tells me the name of the person and
Yeah,
who it was and everything. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's nice that each day, each and every single day, I get views and people who, and where I get excited when I see that so and so not only just viewed but shared it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So it's not so much of the sales that, or the people who are logging in and saying I want to book a tour. It's just that constant reminder in the community that there's this school that's there and people are sharing and talking about it. That is what is giving us that excitement drive right now, that, oh, people have started to talk about us now.
That's amazing. So
Mhm.
what would you say is the specific feature that you like the most about our service?
Um, so far, I like the idea that uh, that a client will click on the video and they will go on a landing page. And I even like it now that when they go on the landing page, they're seeing our students, like feels like us. So I like that idea that straight from the Facebook ad, they go onto a Hubbli landing page.
Okay.
I think then, yeah, it feels like, even if it's a customer who's contemplating to wanting to enroll, they get engaged right away. It was different from when they would see an ad and maybe, inbox me and yeah, but at least they're starting to get some engagement right away.
So do you mean like when they go when they click on the ad, they go to the landing page and they fill out the form?
Yes. So
That,
it's actually taking them somewhere where they're actually filling out the form and they're getting a response like right away.
uh-huh.
hmm So even, if that little message to say, thank you, we have booked this for you, that means thousands, because we never used to be able to get to them that fast, back to them that fast.
Okay.
hmm
Okay. Yeah, that's incredibly important, and I'm really happy to hear that you're seeing that value. It's really I'm really glad I'm asking these questions so that I know that you guys are getting it, because these are all the things I'm hoping are are seeing. It's really nice to hear
hmm
that you do. So this is part of just my own my own ego, if you will. But more importantly, I just want to make sure that
mhm.
that what we're doing is actually delivering the value that we're trying to deliver. So
Mhm.
what would be and this is probably one of the hardest questions I'm going to ask, but what would be three other benefits about the service that you can see?
I would say the first one is, that timely response to clients.
Hmm.
And then the second benefit that idea that my clients would be able to do everything electronically. I find it now, even when I send them enrollment papers on via email, and then they come back to register, they'll say, hey, Patricia, can you print me that package again? My home printer wasn't working. And then they sit for minutes and minutes trying to fill all that documentation in the building.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, having my clients being able to do everything electronically, and also using that same database, to divide everything up into administrative things, and then hook up the same parents into the classroom communities, and
Yeah.
then we all have that network done in with that one input that done by one parent in one sitting. I mean, like, you know, I think those are the most three greatest features that sold me to your program so far. From a client engagement perspective, you know, or that the newsletter, that I don't have to go copy paste emails and from different classrooms to send out my quarterly newsletter or my school-wide newsletter. I can do it with the click of a button.
Right.
You know, for me, those are the things that I really like about the system.
Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so my last question is, would you recommend this service to others?
I would recommend this service to especially the Montessori directors who work on the floor, like myself, and whom we never have time and who are not as techie savvy. You know, we are old school. And like for me, I started learning about computers when I came to Canada. I had no clue about computers. So it's something that I go to my son, hey, Tino, do this for me. But being able to still get things done, you know, either by just, you know, all I do is I just, you know, this is what I say when I'm bragging with my friends. I say, do you know that at home, at times it's even weekend, all I have to do is I just create a ticket and somebody responds to me right away and I know that they've seen it. And by Monday or Tuesday, even if they say 2 to 3 business days at times, it's done. So, you know, who wouldn't want that?
Wow, that's wow, man. Wow, this is so great.
Exactly. I was saying to one of my friends who was opening a center here. I said you should see this great program. And I said to her, you know, even the way they, you know, like, you know, your guys that work for you, they kind of work like a team. You know, even when they're not clear about something, you know, they're not like, you know, waste a lot of your time. They'll say, hey, Patricia, actually that one, I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to ask Pat. And then Pat is going, oh, I'm going to ask so-and-so. And I'm going to go back to John. But you still get the answer, and they coordinate it so well amongst their group that you know, by the end you get the answer. And not only that, they always come back and, you know, and make that follow-up email to say, hey, Patricia, how do you like it? Did it come out good? Do you like the way it looks? Is there anything else that you need? You know, usually people avoid asking those questions because they, you know, then people keep on asking for more and more. But I find that with your team, they always have that extra email at the end to say, okay, I've done it. Can you have a look at it? What do you think? Is this what you were thinking you would like? So I feel like it's personalized to me. No, they make sure that it's really personalized to what you really want.
Yeah, that is what we're trying to. While we do try to keep our process pretty standard, like what you talked about, like, you know, it might take 2 or 3 days because we have a process, but we in that process it doesn't stop us from coming back to you and making sure you like it, and then we can revise it. We can keep on revising it. That's not a problem. It just has to go through our process. Okay,
Yes.
well, so thank you so much for all of this. Is there anything else you'd like to add, just from your own, you know, beyond anything I've asked?
No, actually, one thing I was asked this question in the parent council meeting last week. I said, oh, okay, I'll check. I'm not sure. Now, only that I haven't seen it on my end on how it looks like when it's going to the parent. So when the parents receive, do they receive the messages straight in their email, and then from there they go straight into Hubbli, without signing in elsewhere. This parent was asking, or do we have to go and log into a spot where we check to see if we have any messages for us?
No. So if you send a message to a parent, whether they get, a post in a group or a private message
Mm-hmm.
or a newsletter, anything that comes out of Hubbli to the parent, they can just reply from that email.
From their email.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have to log in. Um,
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's one really important aspect that we built uh, a while ago, because we one of the feedback some of the feedback was that parents don't want to have to log in to respond,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Or get it. So it's really important that that's not. So okay, so
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they see it like the way when I see when the teachers write something, I see it straight in my email there, like as if it's an email.
right.
So that's the way the clients see it too on their end.
Yes.
So which
Yep.
is good because you are saying because I want something that's easy when I'm at work, and if I'm in my inbox at work, I don't want to be switching around screens. So if I can see it straight in my email, then I'm good with your message
Yeah.
because they were deciding how they were going to be doing their volunteer for their homeroom comedy. And
Right.
I was saying, oh, why don't you just create a homeroom comedy Hubbli page and then you guys can just communicate like that and you don't even have to come here and meet. You just chat in there and meet when you need to. And he
Mhm.
says, well, as long as it's coming into my inbox and I don't have to be going to go check to see what the group is discussing.
Right.
I said, I'm sure it does, but I'll double check. And I was going to check with Pat this
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So as long as they have their notifications turned on, which usually it
Mm-hmm.
is by default, they can turn it off if they don't want the notifications. But if as long as the notifications are on, then
They
they'll
should
see.
be.
Yeah. So one last question, Patricia. Would it be would you be willing to allow me to take, parts of this conversation and use it as a testimonial?
Sure.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so thank you. That's incredible, and I'm really glad to hear that you're, identifying these value points, because we never know if we're doing a good job of making them obvious or communicating them. But thank you so much for taking your time to do this, and
Wonderful.
yeah, and yeah, thanks so much, and of course, you know how to reach us, and we'll be in touch with you real soon for many other things, I'm sure.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.